Alright, hello everybody. I am just kind of doing maybe a review or something. I don't know. So I picked this game up. This game is Deep Rock Galactic. It is a mining game where you play as a dwarf and you mine stuff in a big asteroid that you're trying to mine. Right now there are 4 classes and they're all actually pretty cool. And I think what I'm going to do is just do one quick mission with each of them, just to kind of show them off.
Allow me to illuminate the situation.
So this is the Scout. The Scout is well known for his ability to use a flare gun. Also has a grappling hook. And I have gotten the optional weapon for him, the M1000 Classic, that I've never actually played with before, so this will be new for me as well. And there's all kinds of neat skins and stuff that you can pick up as the game goes on. So we are going to do a mission as the Scout. And I'm just going to do solo missions. There's actually online play in this game, and it's quite good. But we're just going to have a nice, relaxing run as the Scout.
Get on board the drop pod, team. Mission is ready.
Hazard 2 is pretty manageable. Hazard 1 I think I've played once or twice, and it's really, really easy. Hazard 3 can be tough if you're playing one of the classes that doesn't have a lot of firepower. The 2 classes with the most firepower are probably the Gunner and the Engineer. And they can handle pretty decent swarms of enemies, but the Scout and the Driller are not amazing at that. So, we'll play Hazard 2 with the Scout. And, let's see, this is a... I didn't look at it. Okay, I forget what I'm supposed to be doing here. So,
Filling you in deep, so be on your guard.
Yeah, Morkite.
Scanners indicate particularly rich veins of Morkite and gold further down. Bring it back, boys.
So, there's 2 kinds of minerals that are basically in every cave. One is Nitra, and one is gold. Nitra gives you ammunition drops, and gold gives you just credits, so you can upgrade your equipment and character appearance. And as a good dwarf, I'm interested in both.
Help me with the minerals here.
There are also a bunch of crafting minerals that you need to get some of the better stuff. And when you're playing solo, you can have this little drone help you out. He's pretty cool. Let's see. As the Scout, I have a grappling hook, which is very useful. I'll explain more about that when the time comes. First off, you can use it to avoid falling damage, which is actually really cool.
See you, suckers.
I mean, I didn't do it there because I couldn't, because it takes a few seconds to charge up.
Never felt better.
But what I can do, here I'll show you. Let's say, hypothetically, okay, so that's falling from there does damage. All right, so we're gonna clamber up here. And you can, it's kind of like, you can basically break up anything you want with your pickaxe. More useful for some classes than others. Okay, so if I drop to this bottom here, I'll take damage. But if I'm falling, and I'm quick about it, I can fire that downward, and it actually cushions my fall. I'm not sure how a grappling hook does that.
Drone, get to
Whatever.
work.
Let's see. Okay, I've never used this rifle before, so we're gonna have to see what this does. Got my scanner here. Right. The flares, you can see the little meter over there.
Bosco, mine it!
They recharge, fortunately. But it always feels like they don't recharge fast enough. And in general, they're going to be your primary source of light. The Scout is special. The Scout has a flare gun. Every character gets 4 items, basically. I hear something. There's the flare gun.
Let there be light!
Which is kind of a nice little thing. Yeah, so... collecting Morkite is the goal of this mission. Morkite is the common mineral that you use in mining missions. I got some character upgrades that make it so that I can carry more stuff. And this is cool. Okay, here's a terrain scanner, or update. It's a helmet. Okay.
Transfer done! New point of interest added to the terrain.
So that will give me a clue. See that little purple cross? There's going to be some bonus stuff there that I'm going to have to keep an eye out for. Also, fossil missions are always the toughest ones to like find this stuff for, it seems like. There's a few different secondary missions at this point. Oh boy. Yeah. Why does it... Oh, because it fires on the lift.
Come and get me, you disgusting bug!
And that's clearly modeled after the M1 Garand. Or is it Garand? I never know how to pronounce that one. Oh boy, that's fun. Looks like we got eggs. We also have a nice sawed-off shotgun here. Oh, that's satisfying. And you can... Okay, I'm liking this. So if you hold the button down, it basically focuses in.
Eat lead! Help me mine this.
You can only carry a little bit of each mineral. It's kind of weird, like, your bag can carry, like, 40 to 50 of every mineral and every item, but it's limited to that amount for every item. When Bosco's not busy, he can shoot things for you. You can even give him orders and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Go! Get to work!
You can use that as a weapon in a pinch.
Bosco, mine it!
Now, my Bosco is upgraded with a mining speed increaser. Gives him a little extra efficiency and speed in mining, which is nice. There's that.
Oh, I'm out of here!
The Scout is really good for getting that stuff, even if you take a little damage here and there.
Help me mine this! Getting closer to our quota.
Okay, so now that I have more than 80 nitra, I can call a supply drop if I need it. It's generally a good idea to get to that point early on, especially in certain mission types where you're going to get swarmed repeatedly.
Help me with the minerals here.
The mining missions aren't usually that combat-centered. But if you're in an egg hunting mission or a dreadnought fighting mission, you want to get your first 80 nitra as quickly as possible. And you can get it by basically mining it from the walls wherever you see it.
Need an upgrade.
Or you can kill loot bugs, and loot bugs will generally have a few units of nitra in them. Oh, it's so weird for the gun to fire on the trigger up. That's freaking bizarre. It's funny because the weapons in this game are generally extremely responsive. Like, the combat is almost as fun as the combat is about as fun as or even possibly even more fun than the exploring. There's a lot of
Get ready.
Okay, here we go. Swarm coming in. Gonna try to get ready for that. Good way to prepare for the for this is to get a flare or two up.
Incoming. Smoke him if you got him.
So, the bugs all generally have vulnerable bits and not less vulnerable bits, and some have invulnerable bits. You notice that I'm trying to shoot them in the mouth. Basically, wherever they have that armor on them, they'll take a little less damage when you shoot them, at least for the first shot. You can break their armor, which allows better penetration in later shots, but for a weapon like this, where I just have, you know, single shot capability, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to spend too much time whittling away their armor unless you really have to.
Wave is petering out. Wipe out the rest and get on with it.
Your time is up, Crate!
Alright. I think we've got it. That should be pretty much everything from this wave. And it seems... I haven't yet done any serious like testing or thought on this, but it actually seems like the waves get more frequent as you spend longer in the cave.
Go fetch.
Like, it gets gradually worse. It feels that way. Okay. Uh-oh. Watch out for that guy. Okay, I see why this is useful. I like it a lot.
Mine it.
There's some like randomly placed bosses here and there, which are kind of fun. The combat can... Fighting an individual enemy in this game is usually not too bad. There are occasional cases where you'll get in like close quarters with something, and it'll be very hard to actually fight it effectively. Especially once you get to some of the higher level enemies that have like invulnerable bits and stuff. There's something satisfying about mining.
Go fetch.
What? Huh. One thing I kind of don't like is that those tags kind of vanish rather quickly. The scanner's nice for getting your bearings when you're mining. Come on. Let's go further down.
Rock and stove.
So I just promoted my first class. I promoted my gunner. I'll probably do a level 3 mission with the gunner to show that off a little bit.
Light there.
But so far the gunner's been my favorite character. It's just very satisfying to mow down rows and rows of giant bugs. It's just satisfying, you know? That's a fossil. I'll grab that in a minute.
Mine.
What are you doing? Mine it. Oh, I see. See, if you're not careful and if you point at the wrong thing or whatever, he'll just put light on it and Of course, the enemies that run up to you and explode are silent, right? Of course. The interesting thing about those bugs is that if you headshot them, they don't explode. Basically, it says so in the manual, but basically
Go! Get to work!
the bit of them that causes the self-detonation is in the head. So if you shoot the head, so you see these little green flecks. There are a couple different types of special materials that you'll find that are under the ground, and you'll usually... Hello?
Took out a loot bug.
That's a loot bug. He has nitro in him.
I love this grappling hook.
I mean, the grappling hook is pretty cool. The problem with the grappling hook is that if you're playing in a group, your grappling hook can't get anybody else anywhere, so...
Help me with the minerals here.
You have to be careful not to, like, leave the team behind. Or, you know, to, like, set up a pathway that the team can't possibly follow, which is also a problem, and we'll see why after I finish this mission. Which we're almost done, actually. Hi. He's dead. It's satisfying. It's very satisfying. Alright. There's some more of this stuff.
Light it up.
No, don't light it up. Mine it.
Go. Mine it.
What's wrong with you? So your shield is rechargeable. Your health needs items or stuff to recharge it. So you gotta be careful about that. You can take a little bit of falling damage, and as long as you have shields, you'll be all right. But you can actually die from falling in this game pretty easily in some areas. The cool thing about this, one cool thing about this game is there's a lot of different like biological zones or whatever. Not biological, but like biomes, or I don't know what the word is. There's a lot of different. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of different places to do the missions. Like this is just one area, and I'll try to show off a few of them in different missions. But they all have different characteristics and different behaviors. This one is just kind of full of stuff. Ouch. And so you have to be careful not to
Go fetch.
get confused by all the stuff. Scout is really good in wide open areas like this
Lighting
because
up!
he can just throw flares all over the place. And the flares last, or the flare gun flares last a little longer than your regular flares, which is why I use them before a fight. What? I hear you. So far, the enemy content has been fairly light, even for a level 2. Sometimes you'll get like a bunch of big guys. Usually not in the mining missions. We'll have plenty of time to see new mission types. And have I been here before? You can definitely get turned around in these caves sometimes. I feel like I have not been here before, but I saw a flare on the ground, which suggests that I have. Oh, there's one of those. Oh, that does it. I'm full on fossils now, so I can just finish up the mission.
No, the flares are recharging.
All right. The flares recharge about every 12 seconds.
Prepare to fight for your life. A big swarm is approaching.
We got incoming.
Flares up.
Huh.
Swarm! I repeat, swarm!
Here they come.
Eat land.
If you'll notice, they just come out of the walls, which is always good.
Secondary objective completed. Fine job.
Sometimes Bosco does not really, like, do a good job of shooting things. Oh boy. Stasis grenades.
Let's clear them out.
No.
No more beasties incoming. Take care of what is left, then have a breather.
So that got a little hot there. But not too bad. And we're just about done with the mission. Here's some more kite. What? Where did you come from? Sometimes they sneak up on you, and sometimes they do not. And I don't understand why they do sometimes, and why sometimes they're so freaking loud. I like it. So you gotta be careful. The secondary objectives, like gather fossils or whatever, sometimes there's just barely enough of the things that you're looking for in the cave. At least, as far as I can tell.
Lights up.
Zoop. Alright. This should finish the job.
Deep Rock seriously needs
Oh, in
to
fact,
invest
I
in
already
some
had finished the
better
job.
equipment.
This mission was not so bad. Sometimes I've had missions where, like...
That was some first-class mining team. Escape button on the mule is activated.
Alright. So, real quick, where's our little dude? Oh, you can actually use the grappling hook as a weapon, I think. Okay. Alright. So, real quick, before I push the button,
Rock and roll and stone.
saluting is a thing. Even Bosco will salute you back, which is pretty cool.
Smooth as always, team. Drop pod is on the way.
Here we go, gentlemen.
I ordered a resupply.
I might
Stand back. Supply pod inbound.
I might want to just try to get a little ammo. Each resupply has 4 slots. Each slot will fill 50% of a character's stuff.
Drop pod has arrived. Retrieving the mule.
I'm taking some of the ammo. Follow Molly!
Drop
Okay,
pod departing
the
in
mule is going to
5 minutes.
show us the way back. And you're time limited on this.
Move it! Inhibitor field up!
Yeah. And the mule will leave these little green flashing lights to show you how it's getting to the drop pod. But sometimes it will just go up a wall through a hole in the ceiling, and unless you have a scout, there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. Or, I mean, usually there's something you can do about it, but sometimes you can get trapped. When I first got this game, I actually did run out of time getting back to the drop pod a couple of times before I kind of got the hang of it. And there was definitely some... There's definitely some
Departing in T-minus 4 minutes.
getting used to, basically, or some work that had to be done to get it right. The mining missions are actually the toughest because you can get way deep down in a thing, and you know, if you go the wrong way, then well.
Let's get out of this now.
Then you know, you're a quarter mile down under the Oh, no you don't. Gross. It's interesting because apparently the size of things is set up such that quote-unquote 5 minutes is quote-unquote always long enough for the mule to get back to the drop pod. I've always wondered what would happen if, like, somehow the mule couldn't get back to the drop pod in time.
Departing in T-minus
This is bad.
3 minutes.
Up we go, and over. And charged, fire. Oh boy. That was not the best way to do that. I was trying to aim for the ceiling above it, but it didn't happen.
Go! Drop pod isn't waiting forever!
And of course, the enemies are popping up while this is going on, which means that you can get, you know, stuck behind like a big enemy or something, depending on the factory you're working on. But this worked out pretty well. Oh boy.
Make it snappy, team. The drop pod won't hang
So
on
this is a
forever.
Praetorian.
Show him some pain, Bucko!
The Praetorian is kind of the lowest level, mid-size, large-size enemy, and it spits out area of effect after you kill it, so you gotta be careful not to block yourself. Anyway, that's the first mission as a scout. And it worked out well. At the end of each mission, you get cash and experience, which depends on the difficulty level of the mission. This was a pretty easy one. So, rewards were kind of minimal, but not too bad. Alright, so that was the Scout. Next episode, maybe I'll do Driller? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Anyway, that will do it for this, and I will see you all next time.